How does you're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay,
Well, we want to know in the least amount of fights. You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were
So it's basically saying that.
the greatest of all time.
Okay.
Tedeschi. I'd stop Flo easier than I stopped Spence. But Crawford said, everyone would announce, even Floyd Mayweather.
I think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Flo's response went viral rapidly on social media. As usual, it's smooth, plain, and frigid. According to insiders, Floyd is really
through
angry,
hell. And the only
despite
time
his
he
polished
spent with
statements and poker demeanor. For the first time in years, someone declared they could beat him rather than simply suggesting they were superior to him. Not only beat him, stop him. In other words, Floyd could hear Crawford fairly clearly. And his response, it wasn't only about pride. It was about pride, heritage, and the terrifying possibility that the game he once ruled would now belong to someone else. Let's
Mayweather had
break
a
it
tough
down.
life living.
The footage that began it all was just played on a popular fighting podcast 2 nights ago. Not long after his epic victory against Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford was asked one of those hypothetical questions that fighters avoid. The interviewer inquired, how would that fight go if you and Floyd were both at your best? Crawford leaned back, smiled, and said something that sparked controversy on boxing Twitter. It was far easier for me to stop Floyd than for Spence. He's excellent, but I'm better. That single sentence went off the rails. In a matter of minutes, hashtags like hashtag #CritsFlow and hashtag #GoDebate became viral worldwide.
Yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me?
Oh shit! Okay, I'm just asking.
man.
Because Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
But Crawford's confidence wasn't the only thing that caused a stir. It was the way it sounded so authentic. Crawford is not insane. If you look at his record and how he defeated Errol Spence and stopped Canelo Alvarez, he has things planned out. Floyd understands this.
You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy could do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Okay, here's the deal. Floyd Mayweather's entire job after
Mayweather had a
retirement
tough life
was
living.
to try and steer the conversation. Every show, interview, and news piece is designed to keep the focus on him. However, by 2025, it will become less restrictive. When Floyd fights Mike Tyson, it is primarily for fun. But Crawford is making genuine history.
Those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
For years, Flo's detractors claimed that his career was all about timing, waiting out opponents, selecting the best fights, and making as much money as possible while avoiding risk most of the time. They were correct. He was really skilled at business. However, that ability came with a catch. At the same time, Terence Crawford is doing the complete opposite. He is up against formidable opponents in their peak. His weight class is moving up. Floyd has never been so courageous. He is now attacking Floyd for a lack of ethics rather than power.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, and honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Now, however, things become much more fascinating. According to those who work closely with Mayweather's marketing, Floyd feels insulted. Not because of what they said, but because of who spoke it. Don't forget, Floyd discovered Gervonta Davis. He schooled him, shaped him, and based his company on loyalty. Crawford had never needed Floyd. He never learned from him, signed up with him, or accepted his method. He rose to prominence on his own, something few athletes had ever accomplished.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford.
Floss threatened simply because he is independent. A marketer informed us that Floyd sees himself in, but without the power. Crawford is doing the same thing Floyd did, but he is not entering politics. And that's the problem. Floyd dislikes being compared to his replacement. He enjoys being the one they cannot have children with.
I beat this guy. It's his excuse. I beat this guy. You know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. And I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
Let's look at what makes this topic so contentious. Floyd Mayweather was at the time the toughest fighter in history, seldom lost rounds, much alone,
and the only time he spent with his father was when
punchers appear like amateurs. On the other hand, is the complete opposite. He creates confusion and then orders. He doesn't need to point you out. He needs to damage you.
But you know, there's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
Fans expected a war when he met Errol Spence. Instead, they learned how to express their emotions in a healthy way. Crawford had disassembled him piece by piece, dropped him 3 times, and then executed him like a surgeon.
Where does he rank now, all time? Ending this interview.
#1, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world of boxing. Every generation from Floyd's generation to this generation to get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on. So
Floyd has never put on such a performance against formidable opponents. Floyd taught Canelo a lot, but he was only 2 or 3 years old and not at his peak. Crawford defeated higher weight contender Pete Canelo. That is why so many modern boxing commentators express it aloud. Clay Hearns might be better than Floyd Mayweather ever was.
Mayweather had a tough life.
Legends have to choose a side. Roe Jones Jr. observed, if you compare skill to skill, Floyd was smoother. Crawford, however, is doing something unprecedented in terms of complete control.
World of comparisons that we live in right now. If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Max Kellerman did an excellent job of breaking things down. Flow to be in control. Crawford battles for honor. That's what makes it unique.
The fight will be like that, but I thought it will finish 12 rounds. But Crawford he did a good job.
Is Crawford time for time number one? Time for time number one?
I think so. Rematch. I don't think.
Do you feel like they need a rematch, Manny, after what you saw tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a rematch.
That's all we gotta go.
It's kind of a one-sided fight.
Does this fight make Terence Crawford an all-time great in your eyes?
Well, he's still in his career, so he's prime in his career. So we'll see. We'll see the journey of his.
Floyd, on the other hand, has been purely protective. He keeps boasting about his record: 50-0 the money, the pay-per-view figures, and his business. However, Crawford
and the only time
does not
he spent
appear
with
to be
his father was
concerned
when
by
he
the
was.
stats. He intends to leave a good name. That is why this feels like a passing of the torch, even though Floyd does not want to give it up. Let's be honest. Mayweather's timing was very great. Crawford's time is a period of growth. Flo never lost because he refused to take unnecessary risks. Crawford may lose one day, but only because he risked everything.
Because when you mention great fighters, right? 90% of your great fighters are black, the ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's going to be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see, these guys are going to be great. They're going to start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them are going to be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level?
That is what distinguishes icons from celebrities. Floyd understands this to be true. This is why he's suddenly reappearing in conversations and discussing these new individuals who are vying for attention. That is why he keeps bragging about how wealthy and knowledgeable he is in business. Floyd dislikes the direction the discourse about excellence is taking. You cannot battle time or the future.
Through hell. And the only time he spent with his father was when he was.
People have already speculated that Floyd may respond with his own in-person conversation. Multiple people close to believe he intends to clear the air. This is typically accomplished by reminding everyone of his earnings and undefeated record. But that won't stop the Crawford wave. Fans have already started rewriting the story, so what Flo says now is irrelevant. According to these sources, Crawford no longer watches Mayweather. He's taking his place. People used to believe that Flo's public smile represented modern combat. Crawford looks fierce now that he has championship gold on his face. The oddest thing is that Floyd unintentionally
had a tough
influenced
life
the
living.
outcome. By establishing the threshold for so long, he provided Crawford a strategy for breaking it down. Even yet, respect must be offered. Floyd Mayweather revolutionized fighting for the better. He developed a massive corporation. He earned more money than any other fighter in history. He defeated all of the prominent stars at the time. But Terence Crawford is redefining what it means to be great. He's lost before. Nobody questions him
tough life
3
living.
times over. He's not trying to get famous. He's going to battle forever. That being said, Floyd may be correct when he claims there are tiers to this. However, it's possible that the sums have altered because what was once considered the pinnacle of excellence is now Crawford's floor.
Like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Crawford did amazing, he a legend, man. 3-time undisputed, you got to take his hat up to him. He went up 2 weight classes and dominated a legend, so my hat goes off to him, and he's all respect.
Do you think Canelo is the same guy that he was before? He think he's completely fallen off?
Canelo's Canelo, you know what I mean? Canelo's a legend, bro. You gotta, at the end of the day, whatever happened that fight, that don't diminish his career, his image. You feel me? I think right now, he's at that time where he took an L, but he ain't take an L, you know what I'm saying? He got paid and he a legend at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if he want to walk over in the sunset right now, his name, his last name is in the cement, you know what I'm saying? As one of the greatest Mexican fighters in the world.
I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but Crawford does have all the titles. You're a really big name. He's kind of in your way right now a little bit. Is that a fight where you're just like, yeah, if he him, get it on for sure?
Not for sure. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? We don't duck no smoke. But right now, I'm focused on my comeback fight, you know what I'm saying? I gotta put my head down, whatever happened in my last fight is through, but that ain't dim my light at all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a superstar, I'm still a star, I'm still the king of New York, man, I'm fly, I look good, I fight good, man, so, I'm just...
The entire globe is now looking. Crawford says he still has a few fights left before retiring. There is a potential that Banny's Canelo, or perhaps a switch to 160 pounds for another title shot will occur.
And I beat him, but we both been out there, they say he's over the hill. But then when Pacquiao fights him, they say, oh, this is the greatest thing we ever seen. So then when I fight Hatton, they say I'm too big for Hatton, but then they say...
No, nobody said that. You got full credit for both of those wins, Floyd. That's why you became a superstar.
No, I did not.
Yes,
no,
you
I
did.
Did not. No,
sure
I did not.
Sure you did. From
are
me,
I
gave you full credit. If you're talking to me now, I gave you full credit for that.
Am I going to speak my piece or not?
Go ahead.
I going to speak my piece or not?
Go ahead.
Okay, because you want to interview me. I ain't interviewing you. You want to talk to me. I don't worry about talking.
Floyd,
you want to talk to me.
Go ahead. I'm waiting on you.
So then, when I fight Hatton, they said, oh, Mayweather is too big for Hatton. But then, Marquez and Pacquiao can fight, it's no problem. But now, but I'm too big for Marquez. I'm too big for Marquez, but I'm not too big for Pacquiao. Which one is it?
Well,
which one is it?
Which one is it?
Which one is it?
It's that Pacquiao was 130 pounds, and he keeps moving out and whacking guys who are much bigger. He gets full.
From now on, everything he does strengthens his case. Don't misunderstand. This is more than simply a rout. It is a transition of power. The former king and the current king. One maintained his reputation, while the other built it via chaos.
Mayweather had
One
a tough
person
life
fought
living
to become wealthy in old age. People recall the previous fights for retirement.
Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny
sense
thing
is
about
crazy.
it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
That's true. But you gotta
Can't
have an
say
OG
about
somewhere.
anybody else. Yeah.
There's an OG somewhere.
Somebody gotta pioneer,
that you
right?
can't out-figure
Yeah,
out.
yeah, you gotta-
There's
yeah.
an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere.
yeah,
And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance about his whole career? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. Go crazy all the time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches. Not just me. Red Bernie, Chad, nutritionist, everybody played a part. Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that? Who? Terence. Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course he is. Finally, this could be the cause of Flo's death, that the only person capable of defeating him in a fantasy fight is not required to demonstrate such ability. He is already so fight enthusiasts. What are your thoughts? Was Flo's response fair, or did Crawford simply state the truth and claim that the throne had been passed? Leave your opinions in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe right at an only interview mention as I shown in script, not heading.
I feel like you should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win.
You know what? They made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
You think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.